Hey everybody, it's Cheap Comic Collector. This is episode number 66. And today we're going to be going through the DC Convergence series. I got a short box in that I won off of an auction lot, and it's the entire has the entire Convergence series in the box. It's about half the box, so we're going to go through Convergence today and then pick up the other half tomorrow. But so let's just go ahead and get started. I did read the series. So I'd have something to talk about a little bit. And honestly, it was kind of boring. It wasn't what I was expecting at all. I didn't really like it that much. I guess it got the job done of expanding bringing back the multiverse, but other than that, it just wasn't very entertaining to read. The main series, the Convergence miniseries, is similar to a lot of modern events, where they don't really tell a story; they present a concept, and I've felt that way for a while. Something I read that Bendis did, and a few other people have done. That where it feels like they're presenting a concept rather than actually telling a story. And I'm hoping that makes sense. If you've read any of them, maybe you feel the same way. But it is what it is. Art on this is the 0 issue, and these are from 2015, so not too long ago. Number 1 has a wraparound cover, which unfortunately they didn't continue for the rest of the series, but that's the wraparound for the first issue. And yeah, the artwork was great. It did have good artwork in it. Here's number 2. And number 3. Number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 8. So yeah, that was it. I mean, the miniseries itself kind of just gave you the bare bones. And then they had, they stopped publishing everything else for like 2 weeks or something, because these were weekly series, maybe a month, 2 months, something like that. And so everything that they were publishing got like a 2-issue miniseries. So like this is Convergence Action Comics 1, Convergence Action Comics 2. And there's the same thing throughout the publishing line. So these were a little bit better. They actually tell a story. You can see the different heroes' reactions to the various happenings. I've read the Action Comics. I've read the Adventures of Superman, and I've read Aquaman so far. I'm just going to work my way through them. But I'm going to have to pause along the way because the first 3 were very repetitive. Because of the overall framework of what's going on, and the main interest is just kind of the reactions of the heroes and how they deal with it. So, let's see, in Action Comics, the first one, this is actually, I think they present the Earth 2 Superman and Lois Lane as the focus for these 2 issues, and then they're battling Lex Luthor and a Russian Superman and Wonder Woman from another universe. So they were kind of interesting. It was I hadn't seen the Russian characters before, so it was interesting. I didn't like how that it actually tied in a lot to what we already saw in the beginnings. So this is Adventures of Superman 1 and 2, the Convergence series, and in this one, let's see, it's Superman. Commandi's world is basically invading Metropolis, and Supergirl learns in the Phantom Zone that she is going to die during Crisis, which is kind of sad, but it was a good emotional tug to it. I think this was written by Marv Wolfman, so if I remember right. It just talks about the cover art there. So, yeah, it says Wolfman down there. So, it was written by Marv Wolfman, who, of course, wrote Crisis. So, it was a nice little tie-in. And we'll talk more about this weird Convergence cover over here with the next set. This is Aquaman Convergence. Aquaman number 1 and 2. And, yeah, they did these covers... And then they did these covers for every series, and they look like that. So, at first I thought these were weird covers. You know, I mean, you can't even combine them because of the way they did it. If you try to overlay them, you can't, and because of the pinks on the wrong part. And the name Convergence is very misleading because nothing actually converges. In this storyline, it actually expands the universe back to a multiverse. So it's interesting. What I did find interesting about the characters are these sets of covers is that they use artwork from the past. So like this Superman one was actually done by Kurt Swan. It's just a panel from some random Kurt Swan issue in the past. And same thing with this Aquaman. This is by Marty Egland. So it's from, you know, back when Aquaman had his hook on his hand, and he has to battle and kill another character, and that was pretty good, actually. That was interesting. That's the last one that I've read so far. But we'll go through the other ones. I haven't actually read them, so I can't review them. But they all seem similar so far. So this is the Adams 1 and 2. Can you imagine going in the comic shop when these were in comic shops and the whole wall was basically nothing but these things? Just very, very odd choice. And they did have normal issues like you saw from the first ones there. These were, I guess, considered the collectible special ones or something. But I got that backwards. That's 1. This is 2. Batgirl. And I really wish I could just, you know, do a mad fold-in and combine these things, but, you know, obviously don't want to ruin the comic, so. Batman and Robin, 1 and 2. Batman and the Outsiders, 1 and 2. And, you know, hopefully there's some gems in here. Hopefully there's some, at least 1 or 2 stories that'll be good, because otherwise it's a lot to slog through. Got Batman, Shadow of the Bat. And I'm just going to get some of these out of the way. They're kind of slipping around, and I'm going to start sweating on them here pretty soon. And then we got Blue Beetle. So we got those. And Booster Gold gets his own. And I don't know, I just thought these covers were a very odd creative choice. Catwoman, 1 and 2. And the Crime Syndicate, Earth 3 gets their own. I assume they're still from Earth 3, who knows anymore. And Detective Comics. And the artwork used on that one is by Mike Sikowski and Sid Green. And The Flash by, of course, Carmen Infantino. a Green Arrow by Michael Nutzer. Green Lantern Corps. And Green Lantern Parallax. Harley Quinn. Hawkman. And yeah, there's a ways to go yet, guys. So hang in there. Infinity Ink. Well, that one might be fun because I'm not sure how they're gonna. They also pulled from different timelines and not just different worlds, so it's hard to say when they're gonna grab some characters from. Justice League. Got it wrong again. Look at the difference in the coloring on that. That's odd. Justice League International with ice on the cover. Justice League of America. Looks like steel on the cover, so that's probably the Detroit gang, be my guess. And Justice Society of America with the Flash. Art by Dick Giordano. And we have New Teen Titans with Wonder Girl. It's by George Perez. Of course, you can't tell because they did this weird whole design thing where they just blew up one panel really big and added the check marks, which somebody named Chip Kato is responsible for that design. And then we have Nightwing / Oracle. And Plastic Man and the Freedom Fighters. The Question. So I won't review the rest of these as I read them. What I'll probably do is just read a few at a time and then read some others because I think it's going to be hard slogging through these, honestly. Shazam by Kurt Schaffenberger. That's wonder why they didn't use a panel by C.C. Beck. Oh well. Kurt did a good job. But as long as you're trying to pay tribute, you'd think that you would use something from the original creator. And then this one is the Speed Force. So some sort of Flash-related thing. And gonna get these out of the way before they knock the phone over. All right, and still got a few more to go to, until we get to the end. Suicide Squad. Superboy. Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes. Supergirl Matrix. Superman. And Superman, Man of Steel. And just a few more to go, guys. Hang in there. Swamp Thing. Titans. Cyborg on the cover. It seems to me like these would be really cool images just as one cover. And instead they did this weird thing. Wonder Woman. And then next up, to me, what sounds to be the most interesting and promising of the two are World's Finest. But look who's on the cover, Scribbly. Scribbly from way back in the day, you know, cover art by Sheldon Mayer. It was a humor strip that ran a long time ago. Didn't actually start at DC Comics. It was actually published in, oh, was it Dell Comics or Eastern? I can't remember if it started at Dell or Famous Funnies, but it actually started at one of those. And then when Sheldon Mayer made the switch to DC Comics when they were first starting out, he brought the strip with him. You know, it's been a DC property ever since. So because when I saw this cover, I had to open one up. I haven't read it yet because I'm reading them, reading them alphabetically. But and if this is good, I want to end on a good note. But it looks like Sheldon or Scribbly is basically an adult reporter of some sort, and that it's, you know, ties in with him somehow. So they brought him into the realistic DC universe. So so that ought to be fun to read. That's the last of all those issues. Like I said, hopefully there's some good reading in there. But for right now, it's just very slow going. So tomorrow, we've got the other half of this short box we're going to be going through right there. And so we're going to be looking at see what's in there. Please join me. Please like and subscribe. Thank you very much. And we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.